Hello everyone, welcome to Web Trainings Academy's channel and our weekly updates. Before I begin, I wish you a very happy Independence Day to everyone. Now, let us start our today's session and understand what are the changes happened, what are the new things happened in this week, that is from August 9th to August 15th, that is today. What are the updates have happened in our digital world. Now, to be one thing very clear, we haven't not got any major update from Google, which is actually a great thing for us. Apart from it, some minor updates and changes happened. Let us get into the subject of discussion of this week's digital marketing update. And before I get into the subject, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe to our channel so that I can update a lot of information for you on a week-to-week basis. Now, the first update which has been given on 9th of August, which is the last date we have last week, that's Monday. Google recommends adding author URL in article schema. Now, basic idea, what is article schema? We already knew about this concept, that we can use article schema to define the information, who is the author, right? All the details about that info. Now, one of the general rule we have is at the bottom of the page we have the author information. But Google is now suggesting that it is better for websites to mention clearly who is the author by defining its bio page or by defining his social media page. So Google can now use that information much better way. Now, what is the advantage of this schema, article schema and author is, you remember one of the Google update is there EAT, which is expertise, authority and trustworthiness. So one of the factor of authority is basically who is the writer, because based on the writer also the authority of the article will increase. So that is one factor. So keep in consideration if you are using article schema for your website. If you are using, then you have to also include the URL for that particular author URL in the schema itself. That is the update on 9th August. Next update we have got on 10th August 2021. A safeguard for minors, okay, and new fewer ads and safer content and more. Okay, now here this is very interesting one. What is this one is, Google have updated many things in their policies. Why they have updated? To protect the minors, they have updated few things. For example, first thing they are going to do is in the Google ads, okay, they have eliminated certain targeting option. In YouTube they have eliminated certain targeting options. At the same time, if it is YouTube Kids videos, they are removing certain videos which are more sales kind of thing. They are not into the actual general entertainment stuff or something, but it is more like a sales video. That kind of videos for kids they are actually eliminating as well. So apart from it, location tracking option and your Google Play Store update, Play Store options for kids, and all of these things has been updated with in respective to the minors. So idea here is very basic. For users below 18, Google want to safeguard these users by avoiding the different types of targeting and also by making it strict for getting irrelevant content for the minor audience. That is the update here. So you can check the source also, you will understand the more details about it. In a nutshell, basically it is for protecting the minors, for their privacy, for their better visibility of ads to them. Google have made some changes. Next one, this is actually an interesting one. It's actually a video from Google official website, how to check page experience factors from Google video. Basically what Google in this video, the Google employee is trying to do is, he is explaining us about how do we measure the page factors, how do we measure the experience factors. So what is basically web core web vitals, how do we measure that, how do we measure the experience, how do we measure the HTTPS factor, how do we measure the safe factor or not. So all of these factors which are helpful for us to improve the page experience option, that particular how to do it, what is the steps, you can check this particular video. You will get a clarity on what are the things we have to do and how we have to do. That is how to check page experience factors by Google itself on their official video. This is also one update. And then this is a very major update. I want to tell you why is it major update. First of all, Google have recommended a method of audit. Now Core Web Vital is very crucial now. right? The page speed and the other advanced factors of page speed, right? And this all is right now being measured in real time based on the user data, not based on your website speed right away, but based on the real time reports which is being sent to the Chrome user experience report. So what Google suggests here is a workflow. So to be honest, this particular topic itself will require a separate video because it's more detailed topic which explains about what are the measurements. So if I just click on this video to give you a brief overview about what is this exactly Google is trying to do, is what they are trying to do now is the way you have to measure, the way you have to work on your Chrome your user experience reports is what Google is right now doing is step A, it is saying evaluate website health and identify pain points, meaning where the problem is in your website, what are the pain points of your website, using which tools. So one tool which is very interesting tool called as Chrome user UX is Chrome user experience dashboard. Basically, how do you get this dashboard? There is a link available here. You have to click it and it will take you to the Google dashboard. From there, it will show you some of the very minute details of your entire website, and you will see what are the different devices, what users are browsing, and what are the factors of this 3 factors of Core Web Vitals, how they are performing. We can check in this Crux database. Number 2, you can also use your search console to see what's happening in your account, and page speed insights and webvital.js. So these three elements we can use for evaluation purpose to know what is happening on your page. Now what the next thing Google suggests is debug and optimize. If you want to make changes, you want to see what's happening, then they want you to use Lighthouse. This is also a tool provided by Google. Web Vitals extension, this is a small extension on the right hand side. In real time it will show you what are the 3 Core Web Vitals you have, and Chrome developer tools, which various tools we can able to see what evaluation, what debugging you have to do. That is part 2, and part 3 is monitoring. Now unfortunately the problem here for monitoring is because this Core Web Vitals are actually monitored in a real time basis, but this particular topic, I would say that most of the digital marketers will have a bit difficulty to access this data, because this information basically requires a little bit of programming knowledge of SQL, little bit of SQL, and also the knowledge of certain tools which are provided by Google itself, like BigQuery is one of the tool, and some APIs etc. are there. So this particular one factor will be a little bit difficult for real-time monitoring and continuous monitoring of your account, but if you learn a bit of SQL and all, you can able to use this option. So this is one of the major thing you have to consider this week. Please read this article. I have given the source also. It is extremely detailed article where you require some technical skills also to understand the entire concept of this particular article. So I hope you understood this update. So basically what Google is saying is, how do you improve your Core Web Vitals? Evaluate, then make changes, and then monitor. So A, B and C, they have given lot of different tools provided by Google which you can use to enhance your website. Then 13th August 2021, okay, this is coming from Facebook. Basically here it's same like Google have given some updates, and they are planning to change certain factors targeting minors. In the same way, Facebook also have released certain updates saying that certain features will not be available for minors, which is less than 18 years old audience are there on Facebook. You cannot target certain types of audiences, certain types of data. Apart from that, Facebook also have announced this Instagram shop ads, that is on the shop tab also they are going to show certain new type of ads for the users as well. That has been updated in the Facebook. So 2 major things. One is their updates for their Instagram minor advertising for minors, and second is Instagram shop ads. And apart from that, they also have changed certain privacy settings where your account can be more private now depending on your requirement. Then 13th August again, LinkedIn adds ratings and reviews to user profile. So basically ratings and reviews has been added to LinkedIn. What is this exactly is, on your LinkedIn profile you can now create a service page. Now what is a service page? On my profile I can have whatever the service I offer. Now for this service page was available from almost 1 month or 2 months back, it is available. but this particular feature right now they have integrated the option of ratings and reviews on this, so that any user who wants to add services to his profile, he will also be able to add ratings and reviews on his profile. But this is not available for all LinkedIn account. It is basically rolling out, and also it is based on invite only. Anyone can just go and write to anyone. It is basically invite only, and as a business owner I will only have 20 invites to send. So based on that, I have to be careful to whom I am sending this invites in the beginning to write a review or rating on the page itself. This is the last update of our day, which is LinkedIn launches native video meetings. Now basically, as we know, today we have, because of this pandemic, we are mostly going for video conferencing. So now this new feature under the chat functionality of your app, now LinkedIn is offering a live one-to-one video session as well. And this is because LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft already has Microsoft Teams, etc. So same underlying technology using the Azure cloud of Microsoft, LinkedIn is now providing native video meetings. You can just test this feature with one-to-one video chats. Now see, we don't know, in future maybe they integrate a complete video conferencing solution inside the LinkedIn. We don't know, but maybe they have plans for that. But as of now, this feature has been added of native video meetings. So I hope you understood this particular week of updates, friends. Thanks for watching our video, and please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive all the latest updates from our video. And this week onwards, for our I have also uploaded a Hindi video on our Hindi channel, Web Trainings Hindi. You can subscribe to that channel as well. And also I am running a parallel channel, Web Trainings Telugu as well, which I will give the description. In the description I will give the subscribe links. Please subscribe to our channels also. Thank you very much.